Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Just wanted to give you a real quick shooting update on my Gen 5 Glock 19. I just hit the 300 round mark, which is not a lot for this gun obviously, but it's enough to give me a good feel of the direction that it's going. The first thing I want to talk about is the finish on this new gun. I've had multiple Glocks, and I've noticed over the years I've had them at least 3 different finishes. The first one was that Tinifer or whatever they called it, which had more of like kind of a pitting and a very slick, almost glossy feel to it. The next one was that kind of weird like chalky black that they had on there that seemed to get marred by everything, and now they've gone to this different coat here. This is nice. It's a little more slick than that kind of chalky feel, but it seems to be really durable, and unlike the kind of chalky coating they had, whatever that stuff was called, you can just kind of wipe the gunpowder off the end of it and it cleans up really easily. So definitely a neat finish on here, whatever it is that they're doing. Next thing I'm going to talk about is the accuracy. This gun has got superb accuracy, especially for a compact Glock, and I'm used to shooting Glocks, so this thing, I'm not saying dump all your Gen 5s, or excuse me, dump all your Gen 4s and Gen 3s and rush out and get a Gen 5, but it does seem to be a little more accurate, at least for me. I don't know, might just be the planets aligned, it's a new moon, I don't know, but I am shooting this very accurately, even for a Glock, which I'm used to. So no issues at all with accuracy in this with this gun. I would say it's improved just from what I'm able to see. There's some things that Glock did for the durability. That's going to be a win in anybody's book, because these things are known to have high mileage and be able to handle it fairly well. I'm going to point out, I haven't heard anything about this, but if you notice, it looks like the frame and the slide, there's a little bit more gap than I'm used to seeing. I mean, I can look in there and see the recoil spring and everything, and I'm not really used to doing that. So I think maybe they kind of, that's another thing they did on the Gen 5s, is maybe space this a little bit. Obviously, you know, you had the famous pig nose that Glocks would get because the polymer would heat up and start bending there in the end. It never, you know, looks wise, nothing really affects my preference on the gun as long as it fires. But this may be an effort to kind of keep that from happening, although I've noticed mine's doing it just a little bit, but it's a Glock, right? Might be for reliability, maybe offer a little more room in there for debris and stuff to fall out and not affect the slide. I don't know, but I'm noticing maybe a bigger gap in there than I'm used to seeing between the slide and the frame on Glocks. With that in mind as well, the lockup on this gun seems to be really tight. So if you notice, there's not really a whole lot of that typical oblong shape you have in the end of these slides for the barrel to drop down and move. It seems to be pretty tight in there. So maybe it's affecting the accuracy. I don't know. I know they did stuff with the lockup. They did stuff with the barrel in this. Very accurate gun, in my opinion, so far. You'll notice I flipped the sights. I modify my carry guns. I'll talk to you probably a little bit later in the video about that. I don't know. I don't get the sights. I don't know. I think Glock is they're just kind of laughing. Like, they're just kind of sitting in board meetings like, we're still putting these play school Fisher-Price sights on these guns and people still buy them. But sights are plastic, they're rubbish. You know, just put the metal sights on there from the factory and just give people 3 dots they can at least, you know, maybe use to defend themselves with. I flipped the back. I don't like anything on the rear of my sight. That rear sight, I just like to be blacked out, so I just flipped it. I also had a old Ameriglow Kyle DeFore front sight sitting around, threw that on there. Maybe that's affecting the accuracy, I don't know, but this is a tack driving gun right here. So I'll change the sights out to probably some Ken Hackathorns or something before long, more of a defensive sight set than this kind of hodgepodge I have on there now. But I just wanted to affect that. That's not a factory thing. I flipped that around, so it's nothing Glock did there. The rest of the gun, I mean, the grip's nice, because I was one of those that would get my fingers kind of jammed up there on the gun with the old one, but with the finger grooves. But you know, obviously I can kind of adjust my own grip down here now. It's nice. I don't know that I'd say go out and definitely get a Gen 5 because of that. So bonus. Something I don't like, the magwell. Okay, it's flared. Should be nice to you know, reload magazines, throw them in there fairly quickly. However, this had to be like an 11th hour thing here. This little front notch they put in there to help you clear out, you know, class 3 malfunctions if you happen to get them. That's what this was for on the back of the Glock, which I think would be more intuitive, because if you're, you know, trying to work things quickly, you're going to kind of use that thumb, which is the opposable appendage that you have that would fit in there, as opposed to trying to do this from the front. It's nice to have something else to grab on those magazines with. However, whoever did this from the factory, looks like they just took some kind of a mill and just went straight down on it, and the edges are just 90 degrees. Okay, so two drawbacks to that. First off, you've got the sharp edge on the front here. Secondly, you've got an edge right here in the front and right here in the back that's 90 degrees. So if you go to speed load a mag and you get it in there either too far forward or too far rear, it's getting caught. Okay, it's nice to have that flare. Nice touch. You kind of ruined it with these, you know, the way these are put in there. So they need at least a bevel on them. I went in there, I took some, actually took a round file and just kind of filed a slight bevel. That's mostly so I don't cut myself on those sharp edges, but hopefully to help feed the mags in too. So I think that's kind of an oversight. I've not done a whole lot of, you know, rapid reloads and stuff with this, but just something that you may see, you know, crop up is people may start getting mags caught on the front and rear, which is going to kind of defeat the purpose of having that nicely flared mag well there. If you go in there and just kind of butcher it with a straight edge on the front and back of the mag well. So the only thing I don't like, or I'm not really sure about, is kind of how they did the front and rear of that mag well. Other than that, this might get me back into Glocks. You know, I got rid of most of my Glocks because my department went to SIG, and I'm used to the more straight up profile with the grip now. This may get me back into Glocks as far as carrying them, because this is definitely a gun that I would carry. I shoot it well, I shoot it accurately, I can shoot it fast. So, and plus I can take this and go to the GSSF event still. So, hey, it's a win-win, right? So, just my initial impressions. I'm going to continue to put some rounds in this. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Continue to do that, like, subscribe, whatever you can. The more interest I get, the more I'm going to put into these videos. Obviously, the more I'm going to put out and the more effort I'll put into making them better. Plan on getting you guys some shooting footage, showing you guys some actual targets, some range time and stuff like that. So working on the AV side of that, but just continue sending out the love, and I'll continue to make these. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Thanks.